Hey guys, and welcome to City Geek. Today we'll be talking about one of the most interesting and influential cities in the world, Tokyo. This powerhouse of a city is set to host the Olympics later this month, so I thought it'd be a great time to learn more about Tokyo. Before we move forward, don't forget to like and subscribe to City Geek. Now let's get to it. I always like to start by quickly exploring how a city wound up being where it is today. Tokyo was originally known as Edo, which means estuary, in reference to its original location at the meeting of the Sumida River and the Tokyo Bay. Edo started as just a small fishing village, but it became a political center in 1603 when it became the seat of the Tokugawa shogunate as they governed Japan from the Edo castle. Just 150 years later, it was one of the most populous cities in the world, with over 1 million people. Following the end of the shogunate in 1868, it then became the capital of Japan and was renamed Tokyo, which means Eastern Capital. Today, Tokyo is the largest city in the world with over 37 million people living in its metropolitan area. To put that into context, Tokyo's population is about the same, if not more, than the entire country of Canada. Now that's pretty mind-boggling to think about, especially considering that there are some decent-sized cities in Canada. Tokyo is home to a quarter of the total population of Japan. Tokyo also has the largest metropolitan economy in the world, with companies such as Honda, Mitsubishi, Subaru, Sony, Canon, and many other corporations located there. It's approximated that Tokyo's annual GDP is around $1.8 trillion. The skyline of Tokyo is also massive. With 160 skyscrapers, it's the 6th largest skyline in the world. Tokyo's tallest skyscraper in the city only rises 255 meters or 838 feet, but the city is home to 2 large towers that rise over 1,000 feet. The taller of the 2 towers is the Tokyo Sky Tree, at an impressive 634 meters or 2,080 feet in height. This makes it the second tallest structure in the world, only behind Dubai's Burj Khalifa. As you can imagine, there are a whole host of things that make Tokyo unique, especially when compared to Western cities. In this video, I will just mention 6 things that I found to be really interesting and unique to Tokyo. First is the Shibuya Crossing. This crossing is the world's busiest pedestrian crossing, with as many as 3,000 people crossing at a single time. They estimate that on some days, 500,000 people walk through this intersection. Due to the large amount of people and huge bright advertisements on the buildings, it's often compared to other world-famous intersections like Times Square in New York or Piccadilly Circus in London. The Sensoji Temple in Tokyo is the city's oldest Buddhist temple and one of its most significant. Next to the temple is a 5-story pagoda known as the Asakusa Shrine. The site is the most visited spiritual site in the whole world, with about 30 million annual visitors. The Toyosu Fish Market is the largest fish market in the world. It was recently built to replace the historic Tsukiji Fish Market, where 1,600 tons of seafood worth $14 million were sold on a typical day. Tokyo has the world's most extensive urban rail network with 158 rail lines. The network has 14.6 billion passengers ride on it annually. The Shinjuku station is the world's busiest rail station by far, with 3.5 million people using it every day. Video games are a big part of Japanese culture, and Akihabara is considered to be the country's physical center of that culture. Nicknamed Electric Town, Akihabara tries to recreate the atmosphere of games and anime worlds that younger Japanese people are interested in. While covering the history of the city, I mentioned Edo Castle and its significance as the military capital of the shogunate. It's now considered the imperial palace, and there are sections of the original that still stand today. Thank you so much for watching this video about Tokyo. Let me know in the comments what you found most interesting. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. I will regularly be posting videos about things related to cities, so if you enjoy learning about cities, please subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.